Is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Breakin College Basketball Show. I am GunzPicks, and no Dabby tonight, but don't you fret. I do have a special announcement after we get into the picks on this one. But welcome. Just want to give everybody an update. If anybody has not seen this show, we are absolutely cooking with absolute gas as of late. I mean, we're on a 10-2 streak, and I'm not talking about the Breakin show. I'm talking about the late night bangers that I've been giving you. This is the show to be watching to get the hottest plays. We swept the board last week on Saturday, 6-0, baby, 6-0, and I gave you 4 plays in the banger show, and then I'm sorry, 4 plays on the Breakin Ankle show, and then I went and said, you know what, I'm going to give the people a late night banger special pop-in show. Gave you 2 more picks, and guess what? Bang, boom, pow. That's what we do. We fire shots, we fire plays, and we cash tickets, baby. That's what we do.
Cashing, baby. Ow!
And as you see right now, I'm rocking a beautiful hat from Viva Tequila Seltzers. I'm also drinking one as we speak, so go check them out. One of the best sponsors in the world. They got us on the ground floor. We got them on the ground floor, and god damn it, those guys are going to the moon. So get in on the plays on this one. But let's just get into what we are here for on this beautiful Friday night. Let's start with the noon slate here, folks. We're going to go to Providence, St. John's. This game is at Madison Square Garden, MSG, New York. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This game starts here. And guess what? I'm going to be going with the road favorite on this one. Providence, -4.5, 1 unit special. Let me tell you what's going on with this Providence team. They're off a win, no cover versus Georgetown, 74-62, 13-point favorites. Almost covered. But actually, if you look at this Providence Friars team right now, they've covered 4 out of the last 5 games. So this is a team that, barely misses a cover. I don't think they're going to miss it twice on this one. But look at St. John's. I mean, St. John's is not playing well at all. They're 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games, and they're 0-6 against the spread, and are off a brutal road loss versus Butler. Lackluster Butler, for that matter. A terrible team. And now you got them going back home. I guess it'd be considered home for St. John's, but they're going to go play at MSG. And Providence can play there as well. But Providence offense, that is the key to this game on this one, folks. They're ranked 20th in offensive efficiency, 10th in offensive rebounding, which helps because they're middle of the road as far as making shots. But I think this team is successful is because they crash the boards, they get the rebounds, they get second chance points. That's what I want to see from a feisty Friars team here. Now you got to look at St. John's on the defensive side. They're ranked 77th in defensive efficiency, but they struggle contesting shots. They're ranked 210th in defending field goal percentages. So what's going to happen here is you're going to get a lot of good looks. I know Providence is not the greatest shooting team in the world, but when you're open, and you'll be able to make a lot more shots than you normally do, especially uncontested ones. So I think this Providence team, knowing that they can rebound, knowing that they're going to have a lot more open shots, just kind of plays into the pick on this one. Now you got to look at St. John's offense on this one. They are below average, 211th in field goal percentage, 50th in offensive rebounding. So I guess that kind of helps them out a little bit here. But Providence defense is ranked 62nd in defensive efficiency, 73rd in defending field goal shots. So I think this plays a little bit more into weighing in on the Providence side on this one. Also got to look at these two teams. They met on January 7th. Providence won 83-80 as 6.5 point favorites. They didn't cover that game. But now you see the line only swung like 2 points from game A to game B. It's not enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're going to be taking a side with St. John's on this one, you would see a 4, 5, 6, maybe even a 6-point swing. But you're only seeing just a little bit of a tweak. And I think it's because the people know, the books know that Providence could probably show out here in this spot, especially like not playing their best game, playing a little bit of a flat game versus Georgetown, even though they did get the victory. But yes, look at Providence in this one. They're 13-3 against the spread in their last 16 games, 6-1 against the spread on the road. So this is a team you need to back. I don't care who's on the contrarian side and the public side on this one. I just think that Providence is the right side on this one. So I'm going to be taking Providence Friars minus 4.5 as a 1-unit play.
Wicked hat, kid. Wicked hat.
As we get out of the Boston here, kid, we're going to go into a little bit of a basketball version of the Iron Bowl. I don't know if they call it an Iron Bowl. This is a rivalry, I think. But I don't know if it translates the same way it does for football that it does for basketball, but because you see each other twice. It's Bama. It's Auburn. Bama's ranked number 3 in the country. Auburn is unranked. And you've seen this line sit at 2.5. Man, that is a head scratcher. So I had to get into the stats a little bit. I'm going to give you what I'm looking at for this game on this one. Bama's coming off a humongous blowout win versus Florida's 97-69, 10-point favorites at home. But if you actually look at their 5-game sample, they're 2-3 against the spread in the last 5 games. It's not like they're like blowing out teams left and right and covering spreads. They're kind of like getting those W's and just kind of moving on. Now you got Auburn. They're coming off back-to-back road losses. Texas A&M, Tennessee, but they're 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. So this Auburn team is pesky. They're fighting, and they're gonna come into this game with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, coming back home after back-to-back road losses. I mean, they lost to Tennessee, which Tennessee's a good team, but Texas A&M, that's probably a bad loss for them. But when you look at the Auburn defense versus the Alabama offense, it's a really good matchup on paper here, folks. They're both ranked 15th in adjusted efficiency on the defensive and the offensive side, so that is kind of interesting. Auburn is ranked 5th in the country in defending shots, 4th in defending threes, and 19th in defending the 2-pointers. So this is a team that gets in your face, contests shots, makes you miss, gets a rebound, and moves forward. But you got to look at Bama's offense. They're ranked 63rd in the country in field goal percentage. Not a great shooting team. 107th in 3-point percentage and 74th in 2-point percentage. So you have an Alabama team that really can't shoot. But what is the secret of Alabama? They're just a good rebounding team here, folks. So they get a lot of these second chance buckets. But look at the other side of the ball here. Let's look at Auburn here. Auburn is ranked 60th in offensive efficiency, where Alabama's defense is ranked 6th. So, there is a little bit of a discrepancy on the offense of Auburn versus the Bama defense. So that does have a little bit of a concern to me, but I can't get past the fact that this line is sitting so low. Also, Auburn's offense will have to fight for buckets on this one because Auburn is ranked 22nd in offensive rebounding, while Alabama is ranked 149th in defensive rebounding. So there might be an advantage there. Doesn't matter if Auburn misses the shots. They'll get those second chance points. They'll be able to score buckets, and they have a good defense to kind of back off of against this Alabama squad that's playing really tough as of late, but not covering their spread. So for me, I look at it this way. Alabama is the number 3 team in the country. They're going on the road versus an unranked opponent, a rival, I guess you can say. I think Auburn is always a rival. It doesn't matter what sport they're in. They're only favored 2 points on the road here. It's just a red flag to me. It just screams to me that because this is G1 and they're going to meet each other again, that we're going to see Auburn play the game of their lives here. Versus the number 3 team. They're going to be highly motivated on this short line. And I'm going to be taking Auburn on this one as the dog, plus 2.5. And hell, let's make that one my dog of the day. God damn, I'm feeling good on this beautiful Friday. I see some of you guys watching me live right now, and none of you guys are chatting. Man, put some comments in the chat, please. Hit some like buttons. And also, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so as you're watching this show right now. But let's get into the next game here. We're actually moving on to Omaha, Nebraska. And we got a little bit of East Coast action here. UConn going against Creighton in the Shy Health Center in Omaha, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have another situation where a ranked dog is going against an unranked favorite. And God, I'm going to be taking Creighton all day on this one. -4.5 is the line currently. And I love this game. Let me tell you why. UConn is off a humongous win versus a conference opponent. They beat Marquette and they crushed them. They beat them 84-72 as 5-point favorites. It was one of those trap lines. Everybody probably took Marquette on that one. And guess what? UConn stepped their game up and played monstrous in that one. So there's a lot of residuals from that big win versus Marquette, and they're going to carry it over to an unranked Creighton team that they've beaten before. And I'll get to that in a second. But they're 4-6 against the spread in their last 10. They're not really killing everybody that's going into these games. They're just getting the wins. So now you have Creighton. They've covered 4 out of the last 6, and they're off a road win versus Seton Hall. Seton Hall is not a good team anyway, 75-62. But you have to look at UConn's offense on this one. They're ranked 8th in adjusted efficiency. They're 42nd in field goal percentage, 5th in offensive rebounding. Now you look at Creighton's defense. Very solid. Good stats on them as well. 13th in defensive efficiency, 50th in field goal defending shots, and 12th in defensive rebounding. So they can match up with this UConn team length to length, and they're sitting here as a more than 2 possession favorite, maybe. I guess if you talk about 2-pointers, yeah, it's two possession situation. Now you got to look at Creighton on this one on the offensive side. They're ranked 24th in offensive efficiency, 23rd in field goal percentage. Connecticut's defense ranked 21st in defensive efficiency, 13th defending shots, and solid in most defensive categories except for one, which I think is a little bit key that people don't really talk about a lot when it talks about covering spreads. If you're a heavy fouling team, that really kills spreads. And UConn is ranked 275th of getting people to the charity stripe. They're an aggressive team. They do foul their opponents, and they do allow a lot of opportunities to make free throws. But these two teams did meet on January 7th. UConn did with that one 69-60 as 7.5-point favorites. I said UConn was favored 7.5. Now look what the line is right now here, folks. Creighton is favored 4.5 on this one. That is a red flag. That's an 11.5-point swing from game A to game B. I mean, you have to look at that situation and be like, come on, folks. That is a massive head scratcher on this one. Also, look at where UConn is right now. They're 1-6 against the spread following a win, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 road games, where Creighton is 14-6 against the spread in their last 20 games versus teams with winning records. So I think this is a good opportunity in a revenge spot, getting that loss in Storrs, Connecticut. Now they get to go and face the same opponent a few weeks later, actually a month later, and dominate them is what the line's telling me here. So I'm going to be taking Creighton on this one, -4.5, 1 unit special. And I'm seeing the comment in the chat. JR Black is joining me. We are riding with you, Guns. Thanks for the show. Oh, baby. You have no idea what I'm going to be bringing you this weekend for shows. I am on a tear, and I want to make sure I give it to the people and I give you these shows because we want to build this channel and make it the top channel for sports handicapping on the planet. And you guys are the reason why we would be in that spot. Well, let's keep it moving. I got one more pick for you. All right, folks. I'm not being a homer on this one, okay? Let's just say that right now before I tell you what game I'm going to be going at here. So we're looking at the 4 p.m. slate. I think you know where I'm going. I'm wearing the shirt right now for my boys. It's Duke, Virginia. Duke's going back on the road after an egregious loss to Miami. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're playing at John Paul Jones Arena. And I always wonder, John Paul Jones, I assume they're not talking about the drummer for Led Zeppelin or the former drummer for Led Zeppelin. I don't think he's alive anymore. Charlottesville, Virginia, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going with the dog on this one. Duke +6.5. I think this is kind of an inflated line for Virginia, and I don't trust them in this spot. I do trust Duke a little bit more in this one. Let's talk about Duke here. Like I said, off an embarrassing road loss to Miami, 81-59 at 3-point dogs. Now, look where Duke was coming from on this one. They played their arch rival UNC, kind of in a revenge spot from the Final Four. They come out with a victory. Highs of highs, and then you got to go ship them out on the road versus an opponent that they beat by 2 points at home, and they're a dog on the road. It was a bad spot for Duke. It was just a really bad spot. But now you get them with a chip on their shoulder, getting the piss kicked out of them, going against a Virginia team that is ranked, and you're getting 6.5 on this one. I can't ignore taking Duke on this one. Now UVA on the other side, nice home win. They beat NC State, a good opponent, 63-50 at 7.5-point favorites. Now Duke, when you look at them statistically, not a bad team as far as Ken Palm is concerned. Decent, 57th in offensive efficiency, 32nd in defensive efficiency, and one of the key stats on this one is they bang the boards. They're ranked 3rd in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. So this is a team that they make their shots, but when they miss them, guess who's there? They're very long. They have 7-footers on this team that can go and bang the boards. So I do trust this Duke team in this spot here. Now UVA is ranked 23rd in defensive efficiency, 26th in offensive efficiency. Still a good team, but looking UVA on this one, their biggest strength is shooting the three, right? They're ranked 18th in the country in 3-point percentage. However, they're facing a Duke team that can test 3-pointers well. They're ranked 26 in defending the 3-point shot. So Duke kind of matches up to what UVA does well. And then I try to find the weakest point for both of these teams here. And what these two teams do is they allow each other's opponent to get to the free throw line. They commit a lot of fouls, and a lot of their opponent's points do come from the free throw line. Now, Duke is ranked 312th in the country, keeping guys from the free throw line, while UVA is ranked 359th. So both these two teams do allow their opponents to shoot off the charity stripe. Now you have Duke on this one. Look at their free throw percentage on this one. They're ranked 28th in the country in shooting free throws. Very good stats from this Duke team, where UVA on the other side ranked 158th in making their free throws. So if it comes down to free throws, Duke has the advantage. It could come to that in this game. I think this game's going to be very close. Then you go and look at when these two teams meet. I love this statistic here. 22-8 against the spread. The road team covers in this one, okay? Underdog in this spot, 26-1 in the last 27. Take it as you will. I know there's different players, different opponents, a lot of turnover on the Duke team especially. But I do like trends, and I do like it when there is egregious patterns. And I think Duke is in the perfect spot in there. Hell, I think they could probably win this game. And then, when they go back into Cameron Indoor, could be a different story. Virginia on a revenge game. But I will take the road dog in the Duke Blue Devils plus 6.5, 1 unit play, baby. Woo! We are cooking with gas here on the Breakin' Ankles show. So let me tell you what's going to happen with this one. I only gave you plays from the noon to 4 p.m. slate, okay? What's going to happen tomorrow? You're going to see me and DabyCab doing a special Breakin' Ankles show, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to break down all the night games. So you not only get these 4 plays here, folks, I'm going to give you more plays for the late slate. I think it's very important to break these down into 2 halves. This is what I accomplished today. And then tomorrow, we get a little bit more of me and also DabyCab's picks as well to make this show one of the hottest shows in college basketball picking. And it's going to be a fun show. So please join us 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark it on your damn calendars. I will send the link shortly, or at least before the show kicks off. Also, you got to check us out on Sunday. It's going to be the NFL Super Bowl edition of the Circa Million Show with myself and the Shark. We're going to not only give you our sides and total opinions, we're also going to give you some props for the Super Bowl right before it kicks off. we're probably leaning towards 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll make that official prob on Saturday to make sure that we got the time right on that one. A lot of content coming from this channel, so please spread it to your friends. Tell everybody about this and subscribe to the channel. That's all we want from you guys, and also support our sponsors in Viva as well. So those are the picks to recap for you on this one. Oh, I forgot one thing. A best bet. All right, for this edition of the show, my best bet is going to be Auburn plus 2.5 versus Bama. Listen, that line is too short for me, and I think Auburn really steps their game up. They match up really well versus this Bama team, and they're playing at home. The place is going to be rocking, and hell, you may even see the Auburn Tigers fan base storm the court with a upset victory on this one. So that's going to be my best bet. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give me Auburn plus 2.5 on that one. So those are the picks. Those are the plays. That was the best bet. Please join us for the 4:30 edition of the Breaking Ankles tomorrow. And we'll break down the late slate for you boys. I do have a couple of monstrous picks on that one, by the way. So please join me for that one. That's it. That's the show. Thanks for joining me. Please like, subscribe to the channel. I see the comments in here. I want to make sure I give proper recognition. Don PLA in the building. What's going on, buddy? You're not late, man. I'll break it down one more time for you. What the plays are going to be. And then we have Markel as always. What's going on, buddy? All right. So recap. We got Providence minus 4.5 versus St. John's. We have Auburn plus 2.5 as my best bet. We have Creighton minus 4.5 versus UConn in a revenge spot, and we have Duke plus 6.5 as the early game specials. So let's sweep the board once again. Let's continue the momentum. Like I said, show plays are 10-2 against the spread in college basketball on the Sports Wagering Network. So good luck with your picks. Let's cash some tickets. And as always, let's keep dancing all the way to the ticket window. Bang!